Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Richard Seidlitz, aka TLum01, and I'm the owner of Redpants.lol. So yesterday I uploaded a video showing how to remove all of this stuff from my 2007 V8 Vantage. Well, now as you can see, I'm in a DB9, which is a little bit different. So this is going to be a very quick video. It's pretty much the same as the other one. There's just one thing you need to know about, and that is that this panel right here is blocking the rear access for the fasteners for the armrest. In the V8 Vantage, we have a metal bar that goes across, and once that is out of the way, you just have to remove the screw, pull this back, it comes out, and then everything comes apart. I'm going to show you all that again, but we're going to start off this time with this section. Like usual, I already took everything apart, so you don't have to sit here watching me play around with the screws, so this is going to be very quick. I get people asking me why I use screwdrivers on a lot of things, and I only use those on things that I know I can actually use them on, or that I'm replacing. For anything else, you want to use trim tools. So trim tools, interior trim tools, are just plastic pieces. They come in sets. So here's one I got off of Amazon. It's got all sorts of shapes and sizes, works really well. And they're plastic, so they don't mess things up too easily. So to get this all out of the way, you want to get one with a flat side on it. The sharper the better, so you don't have to worry about marring the leather. But you go in between this lip and you pry up on it, and there's a pair of snap connectors right down here. So when you pry up on this, it'll come up, you can get your fingers under there and pull it up. When you do that, you'll see that there's a lip on the back side. The lip goes underneath here. That's how you're going to put it back in when it goes back together. Nice and easy. These are the two snap connectors. They're these fir tree style ones that I actually really hate. Once that's out of the way, you can set it aside nice and gently so it doesn't mess anything up. Right here is going to be a T20 Torx bolt, so you can pull that out. There's also likely to be a washer. I had a washer on this one, so make sure you watch out for that so you don't lose it. The bolts are pretty small, so be wary. This is where I actually had a little bit of a trick getting this apart, because here where this tab is, the leather comes down, and that may be in the way of you sliding this armrest back far enough to get off of this console panel. So you may have to actually press in the leather right here in order to get this to slide back far enough to lift this out of the way. So just like on the V8 Vantage of the same, the earlier V8 Vantage, you have this slot right here, and that is the same issue that you're gonna run into. I don't know if this is in the way. Let's see here. There we go. It's the same slot. So you need to push this back far enough. If this bit of leather and the staples holding it in place are in the way of this, you may end up hitting, which is an issue I had at first, and then I pushed it down. This is just, there's no way to keep this down. It's covered up, so it's not going to be pretty. But you can press this down, it'll go underneath it, and then you can lift up right here. Again, this slot is what's holding down the front end. So once that's out of the way, we can move it nice and carefully. Find a place to sit, or just come all the way back down, that's fine. And we're back to this. So again, two screws right here, two Phillips head screws, remove those, you can lift up, and then start removing connectors. Push down on the shift knob and rotate in order to get it off of there. And then as you get towards the front, everything comes out. So Andrew's car does not have Bluetooth like mine does. So this is that Bluetooth connector. He still has it. It's just sitting there, not doing anything, because it's there's nothing to connect into. So you don't have to worry, unlike the ones with Bluetooth, which will have that indicator built in right here. You don't have to worry about that cord. So that is the process for removing that. Next, I'm going to remove this so you can see how that comes off, and this is where things get really scary. This panel is a huge frame around it. It's got this navigation screen door, the bezel for that right here. You've got a button. If you've got a sport shift, you've got a few more buttons along here. You've got some vents, and there are only snap fittings on this, which means that you have to pop this thing out. And when this is in where it's supposed to be, all of this is smooth. So the trick that I use to remove this is to turn on the car and open up the navigation screen. It'll pop up. The only thing holding on the navigation screen are these two little spots right here. And so you bend them outwards. You can just do that. You can see there's lots of flex here. you bend it outwards to release each side, and then this sits free. Then I close the navigation screen so it goes back down, it's out of the way. That will make this nice and free. You can move it however you need to. So the next thing that I do is you'll need your trim tool again, but you'll want to use the sides to pull up, and as you're pulling up on this, you can get your trim tool into the side, and you can see how deep this is right here. There's only this lip, so you can see if I'm doing this, I've got that on there. That's the easiest way that I find to do it. You just want to be really careful. This is where things get terrifying, because since it's all snap fittings, you're going to have a lot of popping and crazy noises, just like doing the gauge cluster cover. It's terrifying. But with this out of the way, if you don't do this part, you're going to have this stuck to the navigation screen, and that can cause some problems. But what I suggest is release this. Use one hand to pull up on here, and there's actually some holes on the side that you can get a little bit of leverage into. Slip a trim tool under there and pop it loose, and then you work your way around. Once you've done that, you have a little bit of a lip here. You can do the back end. You can start working around. Just be really careful as you work around popping these loose. Once you've done that, the only thing that's holding this in place is the wiring for the buttons. So again, if you've got the extra ones, you have to do this as well, but you're only going to get about, a few inches worth of space on here. Let's see if I can set this down without blocking anything to release this. And when you do it, you're going to have to get that connector. It's right there. It's nice and simple, but it's a little bit tight. And then you can remove this whole thing. The vents don't have anything holding them in. It's just these the styrofoam padding, but that's all there is. And then you have everything nice and exposed.